Hello and welcome to WJTS-Inform. I'm your host, Bill Potter. We're going to find out about recycling, things that can be recycled and what it means to recycle. And joining us in the studio is Carla Striegel-Winner, and Carla is the manager, the director of the Dubois County Solid Waste District.
Yeah, the Solid Waste District Director, yeah.
Okay, now you actually, your organization is part of the county. You exist simply to keep things out of a landfill.
Right, yeah. The Solid Waste District is mandated by the state to operate in each of the counties in the state of Indiana. So Dubois County Solid Waste District is mandated, and basically that is to provide proper disposal and landfill diversion to the residents of the county. So, you know, we do a lot of education. We do where we go to a lot of the agencies and businesses and collect recycling, and then we make sure that the public understands and knows a lot about recycling and what can and cannot be recycled.
And I think this is a learning process, you know, compared to 20 years ago, compared to now. When you go to some of the disposal sites or you come to your site, there is a lot of people recycling. Some people are recycling small amounts, and that makes a difference, and some people are recycling big amounts. Let's talk about recycling is basically taking an item and instead of throwing it in the trash, you are recycling it.
Right.
You're giving it to someone else to make something into it.
Right. When we talk about recycling, it's the item is actually made into something new. So at one of our county drop sites, you might take a glass jar. Well, all those glass jars are put together. They're sent to an actual recycler who then crushes those down, melts them down, and turns them into something new. So that is, you know, basically what recycling is. The drop sites take a lot of our sort of our regular recycling that we think about, and then our process center, which is run by the Solid Waste District, whereas the drop sites are run through the Highway Department. Our process center takes a lot of the what maybe you would call the oddball stuff, and a lot of that stuff is recyclable too. The drop sites either just don't have the space for that type of thing, or some of them involve fees, and we're able to charge the fees where it would be a little bit more difficult for the drop site attendants to charge those fees for those items, and also with the space that they have at the drop sites.
Well, I know at the drop sites they do glass, they do plastic bottles, they do paper and cardboard, even motor oil, I believe.
Right, motor oil, antifreeze, and magazines, newspapers, cardboard of all types. Yeah.
Now you'll take that at your process center, but you also take things that
like
styrofoam, for instance. You know, we're talking about these little popcorn things right here that we have. Everybody gets them in packing, or the big sheets of
or the
styrofoam.
Big pieces that come in with your new TVs and that sort of thing. At the process center, we do accept styrofoam for recycling. The drop sites do not currently accept that. They just wouldn't have the space for that right now. And we have a recycler that will come and pick that up from us. It can be kind of bulky. So yes, residents are welcome during our regular hours to come in and bring styrofoam, whether it's styrofoam pieces or the small packing material. Then another idea for this, the packing material styrofoam is reuse rather than recycling it. And if you know someone who does a lot of shipping, maybe they sell stuff on eBay or something like that, or a small business, they might be more than happy to have your styrofoam peanuts as well. So that would be putting them into reuse instead of recycling them, which is a good thing to do before you recycle. Because
recycling actually costs money to go through the process, but if you can get somebody to reuse something,
exactly.
reduce, reuse, recycle.
Exactly,
right? Okay. And I know you do some of the reuse, like at the 4-H fair, you do a book exchange sort of a thing where you have old books and people.
A book, and a lot of those books came from our drop sites, and then also from people bringing the books in, libraries that just, you know, they need to turn those books around every once in a while, and so to find a reuse for those is the best option rather than recycling them. Okay,
now we talk about the processing center, which is actually located, I know it as near the remote control plane
Exactly.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's just it's just outside of Jasper, 1103 South, 350 West. There is signage if you go at the intersection of 162 and 231, which is near Rural King, Wings and Rings, and Sternberg's. Turn onto the county road there between Wings and Rings and Sternberg's, and you'll have signage a couple miles outside of town.
It's really probably about a mile from the sports complex.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ball
and
fields
actually
there.
that's another way that you can come in, is to come in from there and just kind of wind around as well. Yeah, yeah. So
What are some things that people can't, that you're the only place that they can bring things to? What are some of the odd things?
right. Okay. Well, I brought a couple of things today, and one thing that people don't think of a lot, and you had mentioned earlier. Oh, I didn't know that was recyclable. This is a small inkjet cartridge. And we can take items like this for recycling. They do get recycled and a lot of times made into new inkjet cartridges. And that's, so that is one kind of small thing that people don't think about that we can recycle. Another thing that you can only take, you cannot take these to the drop sites, is any of the fluorescent bulbs. This is a compact fluorescent bulb. And any of the fluorescent tubes, the circular ones, the compact ones, they do have a small amount of mercury in them. So you want to keep those from breaking, and you want to recycle those. We do have a fee for these, a small fee per bulb, but you don't really want those to go into your trash. Right. Into the landfill, and the mercury that's in them, if it breaks, it gets into the air, and it's bad for the air, and we get them to a recycler that actually recycles items out of those and disposes of them properly, the stuff that cannot be recycled. There is actually, I will say that Home Depot will take these small fluorescent compact bulbs for free right now. So we recommend that people take these.
Okay. Right.
These little ones, we will take them, but we do have a small fee for them. But any of the fluorescent bulbs, and it's always surprising to me, people that say, I had no idea that you take those. So we have a lot more work to do trying to get the word out about the types of things that we take.
And one reason you have to charge a fee, because I know, if somebody brings old TVs, things like that,
yes.
You have to charge a fee because it costs you money.
Right.
You're not making money off the fee that you're charging. That is simply to help cover the cost.
Right, and in some cases, it's either covering the cost or we are still subsidizing that cost. So, so with the TVs, it may cost us a little bit more, especially the big tube TVs. Right now, there's a lot of those out there. Everybody's getting the newer flat screen TVs. So everyone's getting rid of their older TVs, and if I had $1 every time someone told me it still works, but nobody wants the great big old TVs now.
Well, you also have to have a converter, or else you can't watch anything on that TV.
Yeah.
So they're really kind of useless.
Yeah. So those are, even though they are getting recycled, just the process of recycling those, it costs money right now. The commodity market is down on those, so it's costing us more to get them recycled, to get them to a recycler, and the recycler is actually charging us for them. But it is illegal in the state of Indiana to any kind of electronic waste to put that in your regular trash. So that is one thing that definitely should be recycled. You want to recycle everything that you can, but the state of Indiana a couple of years ago put that into a law that you cannot put those in the dumpster.
No, there's electronics, and then I have a toaster. Okay.
Right.
Now I know the toaster can be recycled.
Yeah.
But by law, I can still throw that away. I don't want to. Okay. Because
Right,
the metal
yeah.
can be reused, the plastic can be reused.
And that's kind of a new term for a lot of people. When we say e-waste, that stands for electronic waste. It's anything that is your TV, your computer, or can connect to your TV or your computer. And it also includes things like cell phones, your digital, anything that you think of as electronic or digital is considered e-waste. So that's your e-waste. And then, like your toaster, or I brought in a light today. This is considered, and we do anything with a plug-in, we will take. Okay. And we do usually have a small fee, even for the smaller items, $1 or something like that. But so any of this can be recycled, and that is something that has to come to the process center. It cannot go to the drop sites. There are also businesses that will take those things as well in the county. So you're more than welcome to check with them. I usually don't say who or what they're taking because that changes all the time. And if they pay you for something or if they're charging for something, that changes just because it is a commodity market. But we're here just to serve the residents and very small businesses of the county. So
yeah, and you're not really looking to take business away from you. You don't care as long as somebody recycles.
Yeah,
that's
we just
what's
want it
important to you.
recycled. And but sometimes when people bring things to us, it would have ended up in the dumpster if they hadn't, brought it to us with some other things.
And you also have some batteries?
Yeah, we do take batteries, and the job sites are also taking batteries. And I just brought a couple today, just anything from your oddball batteries from the power, like this is probably from a power drill. Those go bad, they are rechargeable, but they go bad, and we do take those for recycling. And then I brought some smaller ones, and do you notice any difference in these batteries at all?
It's very hard to tell between those two, yes.
Right, yeah. This is an Energizer lithium battery, and this one is just a plain alkaline battery. So sometimes they look very similar. We are accepting all the batteries, and that's simply because the alkaline batteries, it is okay for those to go in the trash. Simply because there's hardly anything right now that they can pull out of them. But we want you to go ahead and bring them into us anyway, just because it's so hard to tell the difference sometimes. So if you don't know what it is, especially, just bring your batteries in. We'll take care of it and make sure that the ones with some of the heavier metals, these really shouldn't be going in the trash. They should be recycled, and we take batteries for free at all the drop sites and also at the process center.
Now, you also at the process center will take large items. There is a fee. Some things can't be recycled.
Right.
Well, I'm sure at some point there's couches and things, but I have an old couch, I need to get rid of it. Or
right.
I have old clothesline poles that I cut down out of my yard.
Right.
Will you take those?
Yeah, absolutely. And the clothesline poles, I'm assuming are metal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those can be recycled as metal. You are more than welcome to bring them into us. Of course, there's also other places in the county that might take that metal, but we have a large item dumpster also at the process center, and this was started a couple of years ago because there was no place in the county for people to put things that were large items. Anything that can go in a bag that is not, something you need to recycle, can go to the county drop sites. So any small items, but you can't put a couch in a trash bag. Right. And so that's what this is intended for one couch, one or two pieces of furniture. And we do have fees for that. Just kind of depending, furniture is between $5 and $10 a piece. We just break even on the dumpster. We keep track of that and try to make sure we break even on the dumpster fee that we're being charged, and just as a service to the county. All
right, well, Carla, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, just keep recycling, and that the process center is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
All right, let's keep things out of the landfill. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Our guest has been Carla Striegel-Winner. She is the director of the Dubois County Solid Waste District. You can contact her. When is the process center open that people can bring items?
Right, yeah. It is open between 8 to 1. Monday through Friday is when we accept items from the public. And so right now, Monday through Friday, 8 to 1.
All right. Thank you, Carla, for coming in. Thank you for watching 18 WJTS. We're local people watching local people.